A woman steps into the evening city, her heels echoing against the pavement. The crowd moves around her, but somehow she stands apart, graceful, untouchable, a mystery in motion. A faceless figure, yet impossible to ignore. The music begins. And so does a story that no one expects, told through rhythm, shadows, and fleeting glances. The video opens with a slow fade-in. The city is alive, filled with the golden light of sunset reflecting off tall glass buildings. Cars roll by, their headlights just starting to glow, and people hurry across the streets with bags, phones, and tired faces. Among them, one figure moves differently. A woman, faceless to the eye yet striking in presence, walks with a rhythm that matches the opening beats of Roy Orbison's O. Pretty woman, her long dress sways as she steps confidently, her heels tapping like a subtle drumbeat against the sidewalk. The camera never reveals her face. Instead, it captures her through fragments, the swing of her hand brushing against her dress, the shimmer of her hair catching the light, the delicate arch of her ankle as her heel strikes the pavement. Each detail is enough to tell us she is not ordinary. She is the center of this city without even trying. She passes a shop window filled with glowing lights. The reflection shows her silhouette more clearly, surrounded by moving shadows of strangers. But still, she stands apart, clean, elegant, cinematic. As she turns slightly, a soft scarf slips from her shoulder. It drifts down like a feather, almost unnoticed, and lands on the pavement behind her. She keeps walking, unaware of what she's left behind. The crowd continues, and the scarf lies still, almost forgotten. Then another figure enters the frame. A man, faceless like her, stops mid-step. He notices the scarf. The camera captures his hand reaching down, fingers brushing against the fabric. He picks it up gently, holding it for a moment, as though it carries a piece of her presence. He looks up, searching the crowd. The music swells slightly, blending with the sound of footsteps and city energy. The camera shifts between quick shots, her walking ahead, his pace slowing, the scarf tightening in his grip. She is only a few steps away, but the crowd makes the distance feel endless. The song's rhythm mirrors his hesitation. The push and pull between letting her go and taking a step forward. The street becomes a stage. Neon signs begin to flicker on, coloring her outline with hints of red and blue as she passes through crosswalks. The man follows carefully, never too close, his silhouette blending into the crowd but his attention fixed on her. The scarf becomes his connection to her, a small thread tying two faceless strangers together. The camera lingers on her heels again, tapping against the painted white lines of a crosswalk. Then a wide shot captures the whole moment. Hundreds of strangers moving in different directions, but only two shadows moving in sync, one leading, one following, their paths pulling them closer. In the middle of a restless city, she slows near a corner, glancing briefly at a shop window as if checking her reflection, though we never see her face. The glass reflects both her silhouette and the faint image of the man behind her. He stops, half hidden in the glow of a streetlight, still holding the scarf. There's no dialogue, no words, only the rhythm of the song and the tension of what comes next. The first section closes with a striking visual, the scarf in his hand, fluttering slightly in the evening breeze, while her silhouette continues walking forward into the city's heart. The distance between them remains, yet the connection is already written in the air. Carried by music and chants, the scarf rests in his hand, soft and delicate against the roughness of the city. He doesn't call out. He doesn't rush. Instead, he begins to follow, drawn by something that feels stronger than reason. The music deepens with steady guitar notes, and each beat matches his steps as he trails behind her through the busy streets. The city transforms as the pursuit begins. Crowds blur into faceless silhouettes, moving like waves around him, but he sees only her. The camera cuts from his view to hers, the back of her flowing dress as she glides past glowing windows, then his silhouette weaving through the crowd to keep her in sight. Their rhythm is unspoken yet connected, a dance of distance and desire. She pauses briefly at a crosswalk, the red light painting her outline against the glass of a passing bus. The world slows. Neon signs buzz above, storefront lights spill across the sidewalk, and the sound of footsteps hushes for a moment. He stops a few steps behind her, holding the scarf tighter, afraid that if he lets go, he'll lose both the fabric and the chance it represents. The light changes. She steps forward, her heels clicking, graceful and certain. He follows, but the crowd thickens between them. The camera sweeps upward, showing the city like a stage, a stream of bodies rushing in different directions while two shadows move with intention, almost crossing, almost touching, but never quite meeting. Her pace quickens. She feels it, the presence behind her. She glances back slightly, but the camera never reveals her face, only the turn of her head and the soft curve of her shoulder. For a heartbeat, her silhouette acknowledges his, as though she knows she is being followed yet doesn't resist it. The music swells. Their chase becomes playful, almost choreographed by the song itself. The man moves with more urgency now. His reflection flashes in shop windows, his silhouette broken by passing cars. He steps onto cobblestone streets, lit by lamps that cast long, stretching shadows. The scarf flutters at his side like a flag of intent, guiding him forward. She weaves through narrow alleys filled with street vendors, colorful lights stringing above. The camera captures her fingers brushing against hanging scarves and dresses. In a market stall, a silent echo of the one she left behind. He stops at the same stall moments later, catching sight of the fabric moving in the wind, almost as if it's pointing him in her direction. The song grows richer, and with it the chase takes on a new energy. The camera alternates between slow motion and quick cuts, her heel landing softly in a puddle, ripples spreading in golden reflections. His hand brushing against a metal railing as he hurries past. Their shadows stretching across the street. Almost touching, then pulling apart again, the crowd becomes part of the rhythm, faceless dancers in the background of their silent story. Every stranger that passes between them feels like an obstacle, yet also a reminder that their meeting is not random, it is chosen by fate. Finally, she slows again, this time outside a cafe glowing with warm light. The glass walls reveal silhouettes of couples inside, laughing, leaning close, sharing quiet moments. She stands at the entrance, pausing as if deciding whether to step inside or continue her walk. The music dips slightly, giving space for tension to breathe. The man stops a few steps behind her, breathing heavier now. He holds the scarf against his chest, the distance between them both unbearable and electric. The camera lingers on his hand, trembling slightly, not from fear, but from the weight of choice. Return the scarf and risk breaking the spell, or hold on to it and keep following the mystery a little longer. The scene stretches, silent yet alive. Her silhouette glows in the cafe's light, his shadow hovers in the darker street. The space between them is filled with the pulse of the music, carrying them both toward the moment when pursuit must become connection. The section closes with the woman turning ever so slightly, her profile outlined in soft light. She doesn't speak, doesn't reveal herself, only stands still, waiting, as though she has known all along that someone was following. The scarf slips once again in the breeze, a reminder that their paths are already entwined. The camera cuts to black just as the music climbs again, leaving the audience suspended in the question, will he step forward? Asterisk, the city hums around them, but for a moment it feels as if time has slowed. She stands outside the softly lit cafe, her faceless silhouette framed by the glow spilling onto the pavement. The scarf flutters lightly in the evening breeze, caught between her and him. He takes a deep breath, stepping closer, the music guiding each step as if the song itself is urging him forward. Every note feels like a heartbeat, matching the tension building between two strangers who have not yet spoken, but who have already connected in ways words could never capture. He holds out the scarf. His fingers brush against the fabric, trembling, just enough to show the weight of the moment. She doesn't move toward him immediately, but the camera captures the slight tilt of her head, the brush of her fingers against her dress, a subtle sign that she has noticed him. The city around them blurs into streaks of light and shadow, isolating their figures in a frame of possibility. The music crescendos, and the camera shifts in gentle, flowing movements. First, it focuses on his hand as he extends the scarf fully, offering it like an invitation. Then it cuts to hers, hovering just above it, fingers twitching, uncertain. Slow motion captures the tension of the moment, as if even the air between them is charged. Their faceless silhouettes tell everything the audience needs to know: curiosity, attraction, and the thrill of being seen without ever speaking. A sudden gust of wind carries the scarf slightly toward her, and her hand finally reaches out. The fabric slips into her fingers like it was meant to be there. In that instant, the camera captures the smallest connection, a shared touch of the scarf, a fleeting brush of hands. The city lights shimmer across their silhouettes, reflecting the spark that has ignited between them. For a second, they are alone in a world made entirely of music, shadow, and motion. He takes a careful step closer. She does not retreat. Instead, she tilts slightly, acknowledging his presence without a word. The music rises, playful yet tender, as their movement begins to mirror each other. Each step, each sway is choreographed by instinct. The camera dances around them, capturing fleeting glimpses. A shadow falling across the sidewalk, heels tapping in rhythm with soft footsteps. The scarf caught briefly in her hair like a ribbon tying them together. The crowd continues to move. Around them, blurred and faceless, emphasizing their isolation in the midst of a busy city. They pass shop windows and neon signs, reflections doubling their silhouettes, showing both the distance and the closeness of their newfound connection. The scarf becomes a symbol not just of the pursuit, but of trust, of a shared unspoken understanding. The way it moves between them mirrors the rhythm of the song, tying their story seamlessly to the music. At one point, he gestures slightly toward the cafe entrance, and she tilts her head, acknowledging the silent suggestion. Without speaking, they move together, walking side by side, silhouettes framed by warm light and the faint glow of street lamps. Their connection is subtle small gestures, mirrored movements, the shared rhythm of the music guiding them. The camera lingers on the little details, the sway of her dress brushing his arm, the flutter of the scarf between them, the gentle curve of their shadows intertwining on the pavement. The scene grows more intimate without breaking the faceless storytelling. Slow motion captures their alignment, as if the city itself has shifted to allow this meeting. The music swells again, emphasizing the emotional turning point. Pursuit becomes connection, distance becomes closeness, and strangers become participants. In a shared moment of fate, finally, the camera pulls back to a wide shot, the two faceless figures walking together, scarves lightly brushing, city lights glowing around them. Neon reflections, wet pavement, and the fading crowd create a cinematic frame that feels timeless. The city hums on, unaware of the quiet, electric story unfolding in its heart. Their connection, though silent and faceless, is undeniable. The scarf waves gently between them, a visual echo of the music, a symbol of their new bond. As the song enters its next verse, the camera lingers on their silhouettes one last time. In this section, two figures connected, moving forward together, yet still shrouded in mystery. The audience feels the intimacy, the excitement, the tenderness of this faceless romance, knowing that the true story has only just begun. The city night deepens, neon lights flickering in rhythmic pulses that seem to echo the lingering chords of Roy Orbison's "Oh, Pretty Woman." The woman and the man walk side by side now, faceless but unmistakably connected. The scarf, once a symbol of pursuit and curiosity, now flutters gently between them, a shared thread binding two silhouettes in quiet intimacy. The crowd continues to move around them, blurred, faceless, but it no longer matters. For them, the city has transformed into a stage, each streetlight and passing car accentuating their silent story. The camera captures them in fragmented close-ups, a hand brushing lightly against her dress, his fingers twitching toward hers, the subtle sway of her shoulders matching his steps. Each motion is slow, deliberate, cinematic, a dance between two strangers who have found a rhythm beyond words. Reflections from shop windows, puddles on the pavement, and neon signs create layers of light and shadow, framing their silhouettes. As if the city itself is spotlighting their connection, they pass a small park, benches illuminated by lamplight. A soft wind catches the scarf, lifting it like a banner, and the camera follows its motion, tying the two figures together visually. The music swells, the notes carrying emotion as their pace slows naturally. For the first time, neither is chasing, nor being chased. Instead, they move together, synchronized, faceless, yet entirely aware of each other's presence. The rhythm of their steps mirrors the final chorus. A harmony of music and movement. The city becomes almost magical. Street lamps glow warmer, car headlights reflect softly off wet pavement, and distant neon signs hum with color. Shadows stretch, long merging on the ground to create a single shape of visual metaphor for their union. The camera lingers on these intertwined shadows, highlighting the intimacy without revealing faces, keeping the cinematic mystery alive. Small gestures speak volumes, her fingers adjusting the scarf as it brushes his wrist, the light in the puddles reflecting the movement of their silhouettes. The subtle turn of his head as if acknowledging her presence. They approach a bridge, overlooking the river, city lights twinkling across the water surface. The reflection multiplies their images, showing them side by side from countless angles. A gentle breeze stirs the scarf again, lifting it like a flag in the night. The camera captures the moment from above, the faceless pair, city below, water. Shimmering music rising, a cinematic tableau of connection and possibility. The bridge becomes a symbolic threshold. They have moved from pursuit to union, from mystery to shared awareness. As they walk across, the crowd thins. The camera shifts to slow motion, emphasizing the elegance of their synchronized movements. Reflections ripple across the pavement and water, light bouncing off surfaces, creating visual poetry that mirrors the emotion of the song. The scarf floats gently between them, a visual heartbeat, linking them as one story. The city is still alive, but it has become a silent witness to their moment. Near the end, the camera cuts to intimate details, the sway of her dress catching a streetlight, his hand brushing lightly against her wrist, the scarf momentarily lifting in the wind like a silent signal of trust and connection. Each frame conveys emotion, anticipation, joy, and quiet tenderness without ever needing a word. Their silhouettes, perfectly aligned, tell the story of a connection that transcends faces, names, or dialogue. Finally, the camera pulls back. To a wide shot, the faceless couple walks into the distance, their forms small against the expansive cityscape. Neon reflections, shimmering pavements, and softly glowing streetlights create a cinematic canvas. The music gently fades, carrying with it the lingering magic of the evening, the memory of a connection that feels both intimate and universal. The scarf flutters one last time before settling, a symbol that some stories, faceless or not, are timeless. The screen slowly fades to black, leaving only the echoes of the song and the audience's imagination. The faceless figures have walked together into possibility, leaving behind the bustling streets, yet imprinting a story of elegance, mystery, and quiet romance in every viewer's mind. The resolution is silent, visual, and unforgettable. A perfect cinematic conclusion to a story told entirely through motion, light, and music.